Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffe Kennedy, author of Epic Fantasy Romance. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Delicious. Today is Monday, September 11th, 2023. Um, yeah, here we are. So, thank you for all of you who tagged me over the weekend, um, starting on Friday afternoon, wanting to know about my mysterious meeting. So I still can't give you full details, and for that I apologize. But so these things go, because we still have to ink the contract and everything. But the exciting news is that I sold Onira. Yes, the book that I wasn't supposed to be writing. Turns out that I have gotten my best deal ever, a six-figure deal, to an amazing publisher, an amazing editor. And yeah, I am so over the moon. My first six-figure deal, and uh, I'm just amazed. And that doesn't include, well, I won't go into those details. I probably shouldn't do that. But um, it's just really so exciting. It was on a pre-empt, which means, and I know I have to explain this for many people, there were several publishers interested in the book, and the editor that I met with on Friday, along with my agent, uh, she offered enough money, saying, um, if we offer this, is that enough money for you to take it off the table? Can we just buy it today? And gave us the deal memo. So the deal memo is like not the contract, but it's the initial terms. And and yeah, it's a done deal. We accepted the preempt, and it was done by like 4:30, or maybe even earlier on Friday afternoon. So join me on the happy chair dance. Woo-hoo! Um, it's really started to sink in more over the weekend. Those of you who've listened for a long time know that for me to have a deeper financial bench now is it just feels miraculous. I just can't even tell you all. Um, I'm getting sun dappling. It's a rainy morning. It's not raining right now, but the clouds are kind of coming and going. Might have to move over here. There, that's a little better. Um, so yeah, the sense of relief is just immense. And this is something I've been working towards for. I was figuring it out probably 16 years, since 2007. I had started sending out the novel that I'd written then. And whenever people asked me, I'm sure I got really annoying. My friends and family, they put up with so much. Whenever they would ask me what I wanted for my birthday or for Christmas, I would say, I want a lucrative multi book contract. Um, and here it is. I've gotten other book contracts since then, of course, but nothing this big and nothing this utterly magnificent. It's just, you all, the publisher that I'm going to be working with is one I've wanted forever. I'm just so excited. Uh, so thank you all for cheering along with me. So now you will get to read Onira, but not till 2025. It's in the publication lineup for them. The great news is that it should be a really beautiful volume. I'm hoping we talked about what I wanted for it, and I was showing pictures and sort of giving my ideal, my dream for it. And you never know what you will get along the way, but they're paying enough money that I think they will really do their best by this book, and so I'm thrilled about that. I love my new editor. She we had this, like I said, this video call with her and Agent Sarah, and she spent like the first half an hour. She said, I want to tell you about my reading experience. And she went through everything she loved about the book. Um, and it was just amazing. And she apologized for using the words love and really cool too often. She's like, I've used up my quota for the week. And I'm like, well, it's Friday afternoon. So, and you all have heard me talk about that before, that our language of praise is limited, right? Our language of criticism is so nuanced and varied, and our language of praise tends to be limited to a few phrases. So she told me all the things she loved and all the things she thought were really cool about the book. She said it made her ugly cry in public transportation, and I love that about it. She also told me what kind of um, editorial input she would have, which is very, very minor. So it's going to be amazing. She said she would circle back tomorrow and we would start talking timelines and everything. But I don't think that the editing will take me very long, given what she's asked for. And everything she asked for makes a lot of sense. Uh, One thing that I hadn't thought of at all, which I think will be a really interesting addition to the world building. So, that's the best part about working with a professional editor. She's been there for 10 years. She's an executive editor. I'll drop that nugget. And I'm just so excited to get to work with her. Uh, I get one third of the advance on signing, and then on delivery and acceptance of the book, which shouldn't be too long from now, I get another third for that book. So and it's a two book deal. I could say that it's a two book deal. So that's how they're dividing it up, which is great because a lot of publishers are splicing it out. I've talked about this, more and more little pieces, and they're not doing that to me. And it's going to be amazing. I'm just thrilled. And I've been thinking so much, back to around 2007 and 2008 when I was trying so hard, trying to shop that first book, the one that became Rogue's Pawn. Um, and, having such high hopes in the beginning that then, I mean, I did, I've done well. I've done well compared to other people, but not where I wanted to be. And this is finally what I wanted. But I remember back in those days, I had two friends um, who I should give fake names to. So let's say Sue and Marilyn. Okay, Sue and Marilyn were two good friends. We had met because we were all querying our novels, and we shared rooms together at conferences, and we were all like pitching editors and agents at the same time. We were all writing in that same genre. Sue's was a little bit more like paranormal romance. Marilyn's was more like urban fantasy. And then, of course, mine was this thing that wasn't either of those things. And romantasy or fantasy romance didn't really exist then, so I didn't even know how to pitch it effectively. But, and I can't remember the exact order of these things, of how it went, because that's long enough ago, right? But Marilyn, her book won a contest, and she had several agents offering her representation. That blood in the water thing, we love that. She picked an agent. She They sold the book to a very high profile publisher, and she got a three-book deal for $30,000, which just sounded amazing to me then. Um, it wasn't a six-figure deal. Sorry, I'm just so so happy about this, people. Uh, so I mean, her books met with limited success. There were several things that happened, and I mentioned mainly because this does happen a lot, right? Especially with new books. Um, One thing that was on her was it took her much longer to write that second book than she anticipated, which is one reason why, for all of you newbie authors, I highly, highly recommend that you track how long it really does take you to write a book, because we tend to spend years futzing with that first book. And you should. I mean, because there's no pressure. You might as well get it right. But it takes us years to draft, and then all of the rewrites and figuring out our craft and all of that. And so when you get that offer, when you get that 2 or 3 book deal, and they say, can you get book 2 to us in 18 months, it sounds like all the time in the world, and you're like, of course. And it's not necessarily easy to do, because you've never had to write a book in, first of all, a prescribed amount of time, and second of all, um, a short amount of time, a relatively short amount of time. So she had that problem. Her agent ended up leaving the business for various reasons. I know why, but I won't say why. Uh, and then she ended up like being passed off from the editor who acquired the book to a different editor who was great in some ways but really wanted her to change the book. And then she ended up being orphaned. That editor left the publishing house. This happens all the time. And I think she ended up with 2 other editors. Uh, and so that's one reason why it's great to have a meeting like I did with this executive editor who I know personally wants to edit this book. And Marilyn, I don't know if they did bait and switch on her, or if she didn't know to ask the right question, or if her agent didn't. But it was weird that this editor acquired the book and then passed it off to someone else, and then asked for a pretty massive rewrite, a, a rewrite that altered what genre it was. So anyway, she'd gotten the Cinderella A ticket, and yet it didn't work out that great. And she's she's still publishing, but not a lot, and not she hasn't had a blazing career. And some of that is she's been dealing with health issues and that kind of thing. But it was easy then to be envious. I was so excited for her and did my best to be supportive in every way, but I wanted what she had. And uh, but it ended up not being the A ticket. It ended up being, you know well, not. But I learned a lot from that. I learned that getting that first book deal, we think that you've made it, and no, it's just one step along the way. And I do feel like at this point in my career, even as I'm so super excited about this 6-figure deal and looking at more deals to come related to this, the various different sub rights and so forth, the foreign rights, I also am thinking in terms of maximizing how I can use this money to give me some stability, because there's no guarantee I'll get another deal like this, right? We don't know how it will go. I don't know if I will earn out this advance. I hope I will. I hope it goes beautifully, but I'm also prepared for if it doesn't. And boy, does that make a difference. Um, so, anyway, back to Sue and Marilyn. Sue also had not sold her book and was envious of Marilyn's deal. And Sue was talking to me one day where um, she said, "How long are you giving yourself?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "How long are you giving yourself to succeed before you quit?" And I said, "Forever." I don't have a deadline. And she said, "Well, I'm giving myself a year." And I was And I said, why? And she said, well, if I haven't sold this book in a year, if I haven't succeeded, then I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to keep trying. And I've heard many other people say this. Very often I hear husbands giving wives, and exactly that gender spread there, um, deadlines on their writing. You know, my husband says if I haven't sold my book in 2 years, then I have to stop. And it's like, I just don't even understand this mentality. That it's tied in with success mentality, but it's also this, you know, like you only get so much time to realize your dreams. It's starting to rain now, but I don't think much is coming on my keyboard, so we should be okay. Fortunately, the leaves are thick this time of year. Rain, yay, rain. I got a six-figure deal and it's raining. So uh, it was interesting because I think Sue didn't understand me either. It's like, you're just going to keep, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to keep banging my head against the wall, you know, doing what it takes. And that's what I've done. That's what I've been doing low these 16 years is I've been putting it together, and I've um, had some good book deals, and I've had some success self-publishing, and I have stubbornly clung to my determination that this is the career and the life I want. Sue did give up being an author. Sue went on to do something else in publishing, and she has been very successful with that. And I hope she's happy. But I think about her often. Okay, now I'm starting to get some rain on the keyboard here. Well, it's not too bad. I'm just wondering if I should shelter it. No, it's okay. And I'm almost done. So, anyway, I think about her a lot over the years. And we've seen each other now and again. We had a kind of a falling out over some things, but we are socially friendly. I think we both have enough power in the industry that we don't want to mess with each other. It's very funny to me on the rare occasions when I mention this person and say, you know, we used to be critique partners. People are like, she wrote? I was like, yeah, she wanted to be a writer at first. I don't know. She's very good at what she's doing now, and she's tremendously successful, and I wish her well. But I wonder, and we're not good enough friends that I can ask, but I wonder if she is ever sorry that she gave up on that. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't what she wanted enough. I do think that if you can give up on being a writer, then you didn't want it enough, because you have to want it. You have to love it enough to keep going, even if you're not successful, even if things aren't going well. Uh, and you might have to wait 16 years. And, you know, at this point, I have 64 published titles, and 16 years later, I finally got my lucrative multi book contract. I've gotten decent ones, but nothing like this. And I'm just, it feels so good. Thank you all for sticking with me all this time and being part of this and celebrating with me. I'm so glad to be able to share it with all of you. And, you know, more details. There will be, you know, when that announcement hits Publishers Weekly, Publishers Lunch, then then you'll have all the details. But you already know a lot, right? All right. On that note, I am going to get to work. I'm working on Twisted Magic. I really want to hit that publishing deadline. So, but it's so nice to have a little bit of buffer on that, so that I don't have to make it, because I'll be able to pay the bills. All right. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a fantastic week. And I will talk to you all on Friday. You all take care. Bye bye.